All right, welcome to another exciting episode of Check Yourself Before You Do Something. All right, so in this episode, Exciting Adventures of Physics, we are going to be looking at how do we actually evaluate a mathematical model to search for meaning in the y-intercept as well as the slope, because numbers are often not good enough. We need more. So your mission, since you've opened this, I'm assuming you're going to accept it, is to tell me, using this graph here, exciting graph, what does the y-intercept mean and what does the slope mean? Now, I've left this a little open so you can get some refresher course on how to make your own mathematical model and specific equation and all those things. And basically, I say go for it. All right, so pause the video, and if you want to know the answer, you can jump all the way to the very end, check it out. Or if you want to go step by step, just open the video back up, hit play, wait a few seconds, and I'll show you kind of the next step. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, spoilers! All right, so step one, in case you were still stuck, you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Step one is you have to create your own mathematical model. All right, so by doing it, you should have the following mathematical model here. If you have questions about how to create that, go watch a video of how to create mathematical models, and that should help you out. So based on this mathematical model, now maybe you can try and figure out what does the y-intercept mean and what does the slope mean. Pause video unless you'd like some more knowledge. All right, I'm going to go about the y-intercept first because I personally think that's usually the easiest to analyze. And so here's your hint. Remember, the y-intercept is defined as what y is when x is 0. So I recommend replacing the y and the x with, with the ideas that are listed on the axes. And then try and finagle and figure out what the heck that actually means. All right, check back if you need some more help. Okay, so what does that actually mean if we put it into words? Well, if the y-intercept tells us what the area of a circle is when the radius of the circle is 0. I know, I just realized I totally forgot to mention this about circles, but it's area and radius squared. I don't know what else you want from me. It's probably a circle. So if you break that down, it says if there's no radius, then no circle, because I don't know any circles that don't have any radiuses. So the y-intercept should be 0. If you look at your data, it's effectively equal to 0.03. It's really close to 0. So smiley face, therefore, that's symbol for therefore, drop the y-intercept. Now, the question at the end of the day is, well, what does the real meaning of the y-intercept? That's right here. This is the meaning. All right, that's the meaning of the y-intercept. So if I ever ask you what the meaning of the y-intercept is, that's what you're looking for. This is what we do with it. Like, hey, why didn't it show up? Blah, blah, blah. That's what we do with it, but that's the meaning. Okay? So now, your next guess, let's see if we can figure out what the meaning of the slope is. All right, so here's your clue about slope right here. Slope, there's only one slope, okay, because it's constant. One slope, therefore, it is something that is constant that will affect the area of the circle. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, what are things that are constant that will affect the area of a circle? And that's your last hint. So let's see if you can figure out what the slope actually means. Go for it. All right, so the slope has no units because meters squared per meter squared, those cancel out. And it has a value of 3.142, which is really close to 3.14159, which is, hello, pi. All right, so sometimes it's going to be like this constant that you know about. Sometimes it might be an idea. All right, so here's just an example of where it's some sort of random constant that you're probably aware of thanks to math class. And I'll come back with the final end result of what everything actually means in a giant nice long equation. So in recap, you've got, I recapped here a bit. So you've got equation of a line, trying to figure out what everything means. We determined that the meaning is what the area of a circle is when the radius of the circle is 0. All right, that's the actual meaning. All right, and then we said, like, hey, well, how do I use that? Well, you drop it. And then the slope, well, what's the slope actually mean? Well, the slope's always something that's constant. So you have to ask yourself, what's constant in this? So often you look at the units. In this case, there were no units, so it had to be some sort of number, some sort of like official. It's like just a constant. It's just a thing that is. If it had units like meters per second, maybe it's a speed, you know, things like that. And so the number looks very familiar, at least to me and your math teachers. So 3.14, so that is pi. So really, if you really want to break down and say, well, what's our actual mathematical model? Well, the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. And that's how they figure that stuff out. All right, so this is the meaning as well. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. See you in class. But fundamentally, when looking for meanings, these is what they're looking for. I don't know what you have with that accent. That's pretty weird. So meaning, it's a rate of change or it's a constant. Okay, so you can kind of look at this a little bit. But that's pretty much your meaning, and hope that worked out for you. If not, let me know. Like I said, check some of the other tutorial videos on understanding the meanings of things and what you do with it. Best luck to y'alls.